Hello, I'm Adoma Coleman. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Ali, look. Ali, look. Say hi. So, before we even begin to talk about Egypt, we have to talk about Turkey. I wanted to go to Ghana all my life. You know, I've never been to Ghana. I've lived this long. And I'm just kind of like, why have I not been to Ghana? There's just a number of reasons why I've not gone, you know? Like, you know, the fact that it's expensive to go. It's just like it's so far and all these other things. But the original plan was to go to Ghana. That's how this whole entire thing started, was because I wanted to go to Ghana. And then it's just saw how expensive it was. I was like, how am I gonna get to Africa then? And then I was like, I can get to Africa if I went to Morocco or Egypt. And I was like, okay, all right, so this is how I'm gonna make my way there. So I booked a flight to go to Morocco and then transfer over to Egypt. And then this was during like Omicron. And so the world was just going crazy. And so what ended up happening was I woke up in the middle of the night and my flight to Morocco got canceled. And I was freaking out. Like, they were not allowing no flights to go into Morocco. And so I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get to Egypt? God, please send me a way to get to Egypt. Mind you, this flight to go to Morocco to transfer over to Egypt was only $365. So just kind of like, I need to find an equivalent flight because I just can't do this. So what ended up happening was that same morning, I found another flight. It was $400 and it was to go to Turkey and then transfer over to Egypt. And that's how I first landed in Turkey. And so on my way to Turkey, it was just kind of like this buildup of excitement because not only did I want to go to Ghana, I also wanted to go to Egypt, and why not have a layover in Turkey? I booked this flight, I'm on my way, and I'm at the airport. And I feel like this was the beginning of experiencing like, you know, true Muslim culture and, you know, all this other things. And I just was at the airport and my girlfriend, one of my closest best friends, was pregnant. And so I'm on the phone with my best girlfriend and I'm just kind of like, you know, I'm so glad that you had your baby. Like, I was trying to meet your baby before I leave for Africa. And, you know, it's so funny because both me and your sister prayed over your vagina so you can have your baby early. And, you know, it just became this discussion like, oh yeah, like everybody was praying for your baby to come early. I guess everybody was like praying over your vagina. And, you know, as I'm speaking loudly. And then this woman turns over and looks at me and rolls her eyes. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm like speaking very wildly. I need to calm the fuck down. And so then what happened was I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm going to like a Muslim country. I'm going to a Muslim country. I need to learn how to chill the fuck out. Because I have no chill. Like, I just do whatever the fuck I want. Like, I be living my life. Like, it's important for me to always feel like I'm living my life, because if I don't feel like I'm living my life, I'm robbing myself. It's like highway robbery of the mental, and I can't do that. Like, it's important for me to always feel like I'm living to my full potential and to be living with grace in life. So then the thing was, I was talking to my girlfriend. I'm like, oh my God, like this plane is taking forever. Like, we were supposed to leave and the plane, I think, ended up being like 2 to 3 hours late. So I was just kind of like, oh my God, like Turkish Airways, what the heck is going on? Like, you guys are taking forever. And that flight was maybe like 2 to 3 hours late. And I was just like sitting there on the phone with my girlfriend. And then she had to eventually get off and I had to just wait. And I was just like, what's going on? But apparently there was like traffic, because people were, New York, traffic. So then we finally board and I get on this flight and I'm just like, oh my God, this flight is the most fanciest flight that I've ever been on. And this is when like the ghetto part of me comes out, which I love me some ghetto. I love me ghetto me. Like ghetto me is just as fab. Give me some ghetto Adele, you know? And so I was there and I was just kind of like, oh my God, this flight is so fancy. Like the bathrooms were so large. I just could not believe that this, you know, and it's so interesting because I remember telling a friend, I was like, oh my God, like Turkish Airways was like so amazing. And then someone was like, Turkish Airways is like known for being like wildly racist. And so just like, what? Like I had the best time. You know, like they gave me slippers, they gave me this amazing meal, the chicken was good. Like it is not an easy thing to make good chicken. That chicken was freaking bomb. Like it was the bee's knees. I remember congratulating that person who made the food in the flight. I remember having like baked potato and chicken and vegetables, and I remember meeting the chef. I think her name is Simji or like Simgi or something like that, and she works at Turkish Airlines. And I was just like, that food was so bomb, thank you. And so that flight was so great. Like I had a really great time on Turkish Airlines. And then what ended up happening was, because the flight was late, like I missed my flight to catch to Cairo, and I was so nervous. It was like, how am I gonna, like, what the hell is going on? Like, this is not my fault. Like, you guys were late. Like, something needs to happen. And so what was so amazing was that Turkish Airlines comped my flight. And so I got to stay in Turkey for a day. The only thing was that I had to pay for a visa, which was like $25. And they said they were gonna reimburse me, and they never did. But I also didn't go hard enough, because I was like, you know what, it's $25. Even though $25 can go such a long way, I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm going to just let it rock. Like I'm gonna, you know, they gave me a really nice hotel. The hotel was so cute. And I thought it was really interesting because I was trying to go on some of the gay sites. Like I was trying to go on Grindr. I was trying to go on like just like gay porn sites. I was just curious because I'm in a Muslim country. And for whatever reason, I just couldn't get into them. Like those websites were locked, and I'm not sure if because the hotel locks those sites on the internet on their Wi-Fi, or if it was like the country, because everywhere you turned in Turkey, there's a mosque. And it was so much so, it was more intense than Egypt. And you would think the land of, you know, Muslims and things like that, it would be more intense in Egypt, but it's not. And Turkey was like, on the highway, you would probably see like 6 mosques before, you know, even getting towards the airport. And I feel like I'm even downplaying it. I saw so many mosques in Turkey. And I was only there for a day, and I like didn't really do much. I just basically slept. I slept, and I bought contact solution, and you know, because the flight was long, and I just was up part of it, and all these other things. And so when I finally woke up, it was time to go, and I was super excited because my life was going to change forever going to Cairo, Egypt.